I think being bi is so cool. Strong, powerful woman that I am, crushes on straight women, and the parents disown them. You don't need to come out as straight. No. Would you have made the choice not to be bi? Oh, she's trying to flirt with me. I identify as pansexual. Hello, welcome to part 2 of this bisexual, very personal, juicy questions session. I'm going to be getting down and dirty with some uncomfortable questions. Not really uncomfortable for me, but I think a lot of people would be like, wow, this is quite personal. But I'm just quite happy to be personal about this kind of stuff. There's a lot of love in me. Right, let's get straight on with the questions. Do you have crushes, or have you had crushes on straight women? Well, no, not really, to be honest. I don't really see straight women in that kind of sexual attraction light. I kind of know they aren't an option. Obviously, I'm in a relationship, so yeah, that's that. But do you know what I mean? I just don't really entertain the idea that, I don't know. For me, it takes two to tango, and if I know someone wants to tango with me, I'm more likely to be attracted to them. I'm more attracted to bi girls or lesbian girls. Like if I'll see a bi girl on TikTok being all cool with her outfit, I'll be like, oh, she's really hot, like I'm attracted to her. But straight girls, no. It's a bit like being vegan, right? So once you go vegan, and I've been vegan for a while, you just don't really look at me and go, I might want that, I'm quite tempted. Like, it's just not an option. Do you know what I mean? Sounds weird, but it's just not an option. I just don't look at it like, ooh, I just don't give it the time of day. Are you accepting of your sexuality? Yes. Oh my gosh, since TikTok has saved my life, because I see so many like fellow bisexual ladies discussing all this stuff that I went through when I was younger and I just didn't understand. And I'd never seen a cool bisexual character in a TV series up until like very recently, and there's very few. That does a lot. You learn about popular culture and who's cool and who's not cool, and how you learn about how you want to dress, how you want to identify, who you want to be through these kind of icons in the media. Now I'm starting to feel cool in my bisexuality. Overall, I'm so happy and proud to be bi. Obviously, there's part of me that's a bit like, I've definitely got some internalized homophobia still in there. Like, just like women still have internalized sexism in them, it's really, really hard to get rid of, and you have to be working every day to kind of fight that and ignore those thoughts and not act on them. You know, there are moments where maybe I'll get a really nice message on Instagram from a girl I used to go to school with or something, and she'll just be complimenting me or my channel or something, because women are so lovely. And I will be like, oh, I really don't want her to think I'm trying to be flirty in any way, so I won't be too kind or anything on message. I'll just be like, oh, thank you, la la, because I don't want to creep them out. Like, that's a massive part of what I was struggling with. I didn't want to creep women out at all. Being so vocal about my sexuality, I didn't want them to think like, oh, she's trying to flirt with me. So that's something I need to get better at. Just being nice. I'm a nice person, so don't mistake it for me fancying you, and I don't need to worry about people doing that, because if they do, then that's on them. Next question. What are the most annoying things people say when you talk about being bi? Well, I covered in part 1. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it at the end. But I covered in part 1 what one of my ex-friends said. She said, you better not fancy me, or something like that. I've heard a range of things, people feeling like they need to specify that they're straight. You don't need to come out as straight. If I'm coming out as bi to you, don't worry, I'm not trying to hit on you. You don't need to be like, oh, I'm straight, I don't fancy women. I've had that before, and it made me feel kind of creepy. I was just trying to communicate a big element of my identity and feel kind of accepted and loved. I didn't need you to come out as straight. God, triggered. People don't mean it in a nasty way, and I get that, and I get it's something we should all be learning about at school, but we're not, so we don't really know how to act in those situations, but it's just not ideal. Obviously, there's the whole guys being like, that's hot, or like, oh my gosh, have you got with a girl? Like, instantly, not to one guy, one straight guy, and he reacted kind of badly, so yeah, naff. He just turned it into a whole like sexual experience for himself and was so happy about it, rather than trying to make me feel good. Yeah, he failed at that, so he's out of my life. Is bisexual the label you will use forever?
No.
I'm not bisexual for the permanent future. No one should ever give anyone SHIT for changing their label. I could in a week's time be like, I want to identify as pansexual, and that's completely like fine, and that's my decision, and it's for no one else to say anything, and I shouldn't get too worried about changing it and people getting confused, because it's confusing coming out. It's not confusing having to change a label, how you refer to someone. Just like with pronouns, if someone wants to now be called they or them, That's up to them. It's just changing a name. Like, don't make a big deal about it. I hate it when people are like, oh my gosh, but we never know what to call you. Like he, she, they, them. Oh, it's so confusing. It's so hard for us. Try going like your entire life not knowing who you are or how you want to identify and not feeling represented. Just hush. I reckon there'll definitely be a time when I identify as pansexual, or maybe I don't even use a label, or maybe just as queer. But at the moment, there's just not enough knowledge out there on pansexuality. People just don't, it's not widely recognised, and I just want to be understood. But I also identify as queer now, because I've done some research on it. It used to be kind of not a nice word, it'd be a way of insulting people from the LGBTQ+ community. People have kind of re-established what it means to be queer. It's more of an empowering label now, so yeah. If you could have been born straight, would you have made the choice not to be bi? No. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it's really difficult. Sometimes you're just like, I just want to turn the TV on and see like a love story where there's two bisexual women, femme presenting, who are really happy in a relationship, and it's not about them coming out and telling their parents and their parents disown them. I just want to be represented with a range of stories. So yeah, it can be really hard and isolating and lonely. Shame is a massive one that I've struggled with. If I was straight, I wouldn't have had to have dealt with, but overall it's shaped me to be the strong, powerful woman that I am. The woman that has so much respect for everyone else in the LGBTQ+ community as well. I think it's an amazing community to be a part of. So yeah, I would not change my sexuality for anything. I think being bi is so cool. Like, I think bi people are awesome, and pansexual people, and just because like we've got so much love. We see beyond genitalia. It's more about someone's beautiful soul. Like, that's what attracts you to people. It's not about what's in their pants. I think that's sick. But anyway, I'm gonna end this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment.